We're beautiful.
Today we're going to be looking at nouns, but we're going to leave it a couple of minutes before we begin, see if anyone's going to join us. What I'll do in the meantime is I'll introduce myself. So I've already told you my name, if you can remember. My name is Jason. I'm from England, and I've been an English grammar tutor for 7 years. 5 years tutoring Ielts with great success. My style is a little bit different than other tutors you may find. I have got an Ielts accredited certificate as a tutor, so I do know my knowledge, but my methods are a little bit different. I believe in English grammar. So I believe in learning the grammar terminology and then learning the syntax to gain the quickest results. Not necessarily better results, but definitely quicker. So when an English teacher is going to teach English, there's 3 factors we look at. How old is the learner? How long have they got? So are you coming for a 20-hour course, a 5-hour course? Are you going to study with us for a year? And also your previous knowledge on the subject. Why are these things important? Well, the way to learn English is different if you are 8 years old, different if you're 15 years old, and different if you are 25 years old. So, going on and looking at content which is available for an 8-year-old isn't necessarily going to benefit you. It takes you a lot of time. My style of teaching is the syntactical style, where once you learn the grammar terminology and you learn syntax, you can adapt your vocabulary and improve yourself in your own time. This gains quicker results for adults. Easy for children to learn a second language. Their mind is like a sponge at this age. They can easily work out a different language from another one. And you find they pick it up quite quickly, become very fluent in their second language. As an adult, we can struggle. And this is the same for you as it is for me learning a second language, which I am doing at the moment. I'm learning Khmer, and it's very difficult. So I have to look at the syntax. I can make sense of a meaning from that syntax. I know the purpose. So let's begin. Any questions, please write them in the chat box and I'll answer them as we go through. Any questions about Ielts, grammar, English, but today specifically, we are looking at nouns. Grammar. What is grammar? Well, grammar is a very old field of study. Did you know that the sentence was first divided into a subject and a verb by Plato? Plato is an ancient Greek philosopher who worked out the whole idea of splitting up the language into grammar 2,400 years ago, around about that time. Ever since then, students from all over the world in many different languages have adapted grammar. It's a great skill and it's the hallmark of all educated people. Lesson by lesson on these lives, I will be looking at all the grammar terminology, as well as looking at our standard patterns in English sentences. What is the terminology? Word class. for names for words and their purpose. We'll be looking at nouns today. What are pronouns? Verbs and their tenses. Adjectives, adverbs, prepositions, conjunctions, and even interjections. All students of English, whether they're native, L1 speakers of a language, or whether it's their second language, L2, will benefit from this course. So now we've had a look at what grammar is, let's get on to nouns. What is a noun? What words are nouns? Noun, name. Nouns are naming words. They name items, objects, such as marker, the name. So this is a marker. Marker, noun. Jason, noun. Tea, noun. Cup, noun. There are naming words. We're going to look at not just generally what a noun is, we're going to see about common nouns, the difference between a proper noun, how to make them singular, one, plural, more than one, which nouns can be countable, which nouns can be uncountable, concrete nouns and abstract nouns. That's a lot of nouns, including collective nouns. So let's begin. Common nouns. Most nouns are common nouns. General names for stuff. House, pen, camel, cake. General. A proper noun is a noun for a specific thing. It only has that name for itself. Such as Jason. I am Jason. So I'm Jason. That is my name. Countries. Days of a week. Months of the year. We'll add cities and towns. Proper nouns will start with an uppercase letter. I was going to say a capital letter then. With an uppercase letter, and we know it's a name specifically for that. Example, hospital, common noun. There's lots of hospitals. A hospital near me is called Hope Hospital. That is the specific name for that hospital. So that is a proper noun. That's the name for that hospital. Nouns can be singular or plural. Singular meaning only one. Apple. Plural, apples. Adding S. Most nouns you add S to make it plural. And today we're not going to be looking at the spelling rules for plural nouns. I will put that into a pre-recorded video presentation for you. It should be up tomorrow. However, plural. The plural, more than one. Singular, one. Let's move on to then countable and uncountable. Some nouns are countable, but we can make them plural. Singular nouns that are countable, we can add S and we can count on to them. One apple, two apples. Some nouns are uncountable. We cannot count them. already in their plural form. We don't need to change the word, such as water. I cannot count water. So liquids we cannot count. They are uncountable nouns. They're really small, like rice. Cannot count rice. Who wants to count rice? Uncountable. So I can have a lot of rice. I can have a little bit of rice. But I don't have rices. I don't have waters. These are uncountable. Most nouns in these categories are concrete nouns. Concrete, something I can touch, I can see. The definition of a noun is something that you can have or not have. We can also have abstract nouns. Abstract noun is something you can have or not have, but it's not a physical object. Concrete noun, I have this pen, but I can hold it. Abstract noun, joy. I can have a lot of joy in my life. I can have a lot of happiness in my life. These are good examples of abstract nouns. Not a physical object. It is something we can still have or not have. Let's start from the beginning without me picking up my iPad and looking at my plan for this live. Some examples of common nouns: ruler, pen, crayons, pencil, book, dictionary, chair, table, sofa, hammer, bicycle. Common nouns. Some examples of some proper nouns: names for specific places, people. These are going to be proper nouns. All people's names, their name, Jason, whether it's Aladdin, whether it is, my mind's gone blank, whether it's a teacher, Mr. Hill, Mrs. Park, boxer, Muhammad Ali. Whatever her name is, it's always going to start with an uppercase letter, and it is a proper noun. As mentioned before, days of a week, months of a year, these are proper nouns, but yet again, always a capital / uppercase letter. Holidays. New Year's Day, proper noun. Always has a capital letter. Whether you have an Independence Day, a Labour Day, Mother's Day, capital letters, they are proper nouns. My favourite, Halloween. Always with an uppercase letter, so always with an uppercase H for Halloween. It is a proper noun. Names of landmarks. So famous places around the world. Big Ben, the Westminster Tower in London. The Taj Mahal, India. The Eiffel Tower, France. The Great Wall of China. Need to mention where that is. The Statue of Liberty in New York. These are proper nouns. The name of very specific landmarks. So they will always have a capital letter, no matter where they are in the sentence. I could carry on going on about landmarks. Names of nationalities will always have a capital letter, as they are proper nouns. I am English. So the English, the French, Germans, Indians, Italians, the Japanese, Koreans, Malaysians, Vietnamese, Americans, Thai, the Swiss, Spanish or Spaniards, traditionally was. Russians, did I mention Filipinos? New Zealanders. Nationality is the name of that group of people, so it will have an uppercase letter. Remembering it is a proper noun. Moving forward, singular nouns, we can use articles, an, a tent, a taxi, an oven, an apple. Because it's singular, we know the article a means one of. So, yes, we can use those with our singular. Plural, well, use a plural noun when you're talking about two or more people, places, or things. A computer, two computers. A chair, two chairs. A mountain, mountains. A river, rivers. An envelope, envelopes. An insect, insect. Sorry, microphone. An uncle, uncles. Most plural nouns we add s. We're not going to go into detail on the spelling and the pronunciation of plural nouns today, but I am going to put up a presentation about how we pronounce and spell plural nouns. When do we add es? When do we change an F to a VES? When do we change the Y to an IES? Does it always happen? What are the rules? Well, there are about 8 plural spelling rules I have taught for many years, and I'm going to be putting this into a presentation on YouTube, I believe tomorrow. It's my day off tomorrow. But if you think that sounds good, write a comment below. Moving on, by now actually looking at what I have got next. Coming up, because we're not spending too much time on singular and plurals, that will be tomorrow. Some nouns are always plural, though, and we will look at that tomorrow, such as trousers, pants, glasses, scissors, chopsticks, sandals, gloves, binoculars. These are always plural, and they're usually words which are for two things, or they have two parts to it, such as trousers, a right leg, a left leg. They have a right leg, they have a right leg. Even though it's one item, that's the plural. We can use a pair of for these plural nouns. A pair of trousers, a pair of glasses, a pair of scissors, a pair of chopsticks, a pair of jeans, a pair of pajamas. Some nouns can be plural or singular, but most likely always plural, such as shoes. Most of the time, I'm going to be referring to both of them. So it's shoes. So I will say a pair of shoes, unless I've lost a shoe and I'm looking for one shoe. Where is my shoe? Happens too often. Let's look at some collective nouns. Collective nouns are words for groups of people, animals, or things. These are collective nouns. Essentially, it means a group. And we are referring to many things in that group, but it is a group. There's only one group. There is many in that group. So some collective nouns for people. A family, a team, a community, a choir. I can't sing.
Hello, it's me.
I like it out. A committee, a company, a gang. There are plenty of collective nouns. Collective nouns For animals, my favorite. Cow, more than one cow. It's a herd. It's easier to say herd than cows. A herd. A herd of cattle. A flock of birds. A pack of wolves. A litter of puppies. A kindle of kittens. A brood of chickens. A swarm of bees. A shoal or school of fish. A pod of dolphins. And my favourite, a gaggle of geese. So these are words for groups of animals. Some collective nouns for groups of things. A bunch of bananas. A deck of cards. You can have a deck of playing cards. I can have a deck of flashcards. 1,500. It's next to me right here. A fleet of ships. A grove of trees. Also have a fleet of vehicles, a range of mountains, a mountain range. Um, some nouns name the amount or form of something. So I can have a ball of string, a loaf of bread, a bar of soap, a bar of chocolate. I tend to eat chocolate. We can also have ones that mean a piece of something. So I can have a slice of bread, maybe a piece of chocolate, maybe it's a square of chocolate, one square, a sheet of paper or piece of paper, a slice of cake, piece of cake, a piece of chalk. Some could mean a smaller or larger amount. Next up. And that's all we have today on nouns. If you have any questions, leave me a message. If you would like any part of grammar explained, leave me a message and I will pop on here and give you explanation or just write to you directly. For now, it is time to say goodbye. See you soon.